if not get tile from world, no, if get tile from world, hang on, if not get tile from world, then do this, and this should actually be enough on its own. I think we might have overcomplicated it, like always. Okay, so I can break the background and it gives us light. I break the foreground, it doesn't give us light. Okay. Oh, it also breaks some of these. So yeah, lighting is still a bit broken. All right, so let's just fix this issue now where we can't place a block on backgrounds. We should be able to place blocks on backgrounds. So here, check tile. What we're doing at the moment is saying if it's within bounds, and then we're checking all this. Wrong. Let's get rid of this, remove tile. Let's get rid of that comment, we don't need that. Remove light source, that's fine. If foreground tiles in background, nailed it, fantastic. What we might do is actually just rewrite this whole function from the start. So if it's within bounds, then the first thing we have to do is if tile dot in background. So if this is a background tile, what does it have to do? Well, first thing it has to do is check if get tile from world x y dot in background. So it has to check if there's no background tile there already. In which case, if there isn't, then do this. Remove the light source and place a tile. Otherwise, that means there's no spot there for the tile. Don't place it. Okay, so otherwise, let's say the tile is in foreground. Okay, so else, if it's not in background, that means it's in foreground. What it has to do is check if get tile from worlds x and y dot in background. So if there's a background tile there, or it would check for adjacent tiles here. So what it do is say it get tile from world x plus 1 y dot in background, and this should actually be not. Okay, copy that. Or get tile from world x minus 1 y not in background. Yep. Or not get tile from world x y plus 1 dot in background, or paste that, and then this should be x. Get rid of this extra space. Y minus 1 in background, and this is going to want a couple brackets here. There we go. So that means if there's a tile in the background or there's adjacent tiles next to it, then actually I should check as well. Else, if not get tile from world x y dot in background, if not get tile from world, so if it's not in background, actually, you know what, let's do this a little bit more, make more sense. So it's the foreground tile, we have to check if, because I'm saying, okay. So if there's no tile there, then obviously place it as is. Else, that means there is a tile there. Then in which case, if that tile is in background, so just like that, we're going to get these if they're in background. And no. Sorry guys for rewriting this so many times. It should be this. Okay, so we're going to cut those. If there's Control X, yes, and then Control V. Okay, so let me write this, and then you guys can copy it from the screen, maybe. Here. Cool. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay, so now let's walk through it, maybe. All right. So if there's no Wait. This should be if not tile in background. So if the tile we get from this position dot in back, no, we should check if there's a tile in general here. That's what we should do. So if get tile from this position, regardless if it's a wall or background tile, sorry, a solid or background tile, then if there's no tile at our position, place it. Otherwise, there's a tile at our position. If the tile at our position is in background, then place it. And then we probably don't need to remove light source. Actually, maybe we do. Okay, so I can't place tiles up here. I can place them right here. And I can place them, I can't place them unless they're connected to a tile. Cool. I can't place them, so I can place them on these blocks here because they're on background. If I remove it, then, okay, so that does work. Hold up. Can I, okay, so I can break these ones. That's fine. I can break those ones. I can place it on top of a background tile. If I break it though, we sort of get our block and it doesn't really remove our block either. It removes the background block first, it looks like. We just have to fix up our remove tile function, which is here. So if there's a tile drop, then drop it, is what it's saying. We should probably remove tile from world before we do that. It's a vector2 list, and this is the array. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so it's destroying world tile objects, index of that. Right, so we actually have to do split world tile objects into 2 as well. And what I might do is actually get rid of this. That's going to give us a bunch of errors. So get rid of world tiles. What I have to do is simply say if get tile from world x, y minus 1. Oh no, x, y. So that just checks if there's a tile there. Same thing as what that did, just better. And then that's what we have to do here as well. Control C, Control V. There you go. Scroll down a bit more. So this is checking the exact same thing. So Control V there. So if get tile from world X and Y, and then this is probably going to be same thing. Right, so this is destroying that object. We're going to fix this line up. Here, we're removing at that position. World tile objects that remove at. We're also going to fix this, and we're also going to fix world tiles that remove at. We don't need to do this anymore. Yes. Right, because world tile doesn't exist in content. It's going to say yes. Oh, wait. Do that, yes, and then get rid of this. What am I doing? Too many shortcuts. Scroll down a little bit more, and you'll see this one. It's saying world tiles.add. We don't need to do that either. Okay, so scroll back to the top. We can get rid of this list, and we can get rid of this list. And we're going to create a private game object 2D array. And we're going to call this world underscore foreground. Foreground objects, and then private game object 2D array world underscore background objects. And I'm just going to make this lowercase g for consistency. And then we can get rid of this, but I'll just copy it out for now. That's going to give us a bunch of errors. That's fine. Here, I'm going to say world underscore background foreground objects equals new game object array of world size, and then world size, and then world underscore background objects equals new game object of world size and world size. Very handy. Okay, so now let's go down and fix these bugs here. I'm saying destroy that. What I actually have to do is say this I might actually have to say get tile from world. I'm going to say game object, get object tile tile from world, and this is going to take an int x and an int y as well, and then it's the exact same as this, except return world foreground objects, foreground objects, and this should be world background objects there, and then world background objects here, so it returns that one. And then scroll up again. It's gonna destroy get object tile from world. I'm actually gonna rename this. Get, you cannot rename this elements. Because it does, okay, let's say X and Y, and then it's gonna let me rename. Okay, let's rename it now. There we go. And I'm just gonna get rid of tile. Get object from world. There we go. And then let's get rid of that empty line. Cool, scroll down more, and then it's saying world tile objects dot remove at. Okay, so scroll down again, and I'm gonna say void remove object from world, takes in an int x and an int y, and then same as this. This should say world foreground objects here, and then this should say world background objects here. Very simple. I'll pause here for a second so you guys can catch up. 3, 2, 1, straight back into it. Cool. And then here I'm gonna say comment this line out, and then remove object from world x y. Nice and simple. Get rid of that line, get rid of that marker, and I'm gonna move this down to here. Cool. Go back into Unity. Okay, so we have a bug. Volatile objects not existed. Volatile objects dot add. Yes. Okay, so we actually have to do that here as well. So void add object to world. World int x int y game object, and then I'm going to copy whatever is in here. I should probably call this something else. Tile object, and then I also need a tile class tile, because I'm saying if tile is in background, then world underscore tile background objects equals tile object. Otherwise, world underscore foreground objects xy equals tile object. And now when we do this, that's not going to work, of course. What we actually have to say is add object to world, takes an x, y, a game object, which is new tile, and then a tile class, which is new tile class. Just like that. And then we can get rid of that code. Here we go. We're in the world. I can't place stuff. Can't place stuff here. I can place stuff on the background. Yes. Remove it. It only removes that one. I can remove the background block. Nice. I dig. Nothing happens. Remove that. I can place blocks. All right, cool. There's a big lag spike there. There we go. And then if I break these three again, you can see it keeps the background blocks intact. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much our sandbox fundamentals done. Yeah, look, really good progress. With all these bugs fixed, it just really brings the game together, really. And I'm so happy with what it's become. One last thing I'm going to do real quick before we end the episode. Actually, there's a couple of things we have to do. One thing is I'm going to make this filter mode point again because I like the blocky look. So one thing I want to test is this error, because every so often we get an error which stops our world from generating. And that's something really, really bad, because that happens all the time then, or at least even like every once in a while. That's still bad. Let me regenerate the world again. I'm going to keep regenerating until we get that error to pop up. Okay, so as you can see, we've got these errors here, and they're constantly going up and up and up. I'm not sure why this is happening, but we're gonna fix it. So the first thing that's happening is this is coming up, and this is saying not set to an instance of an object. So it's saying anim.setFloat is not set to an instance of an object. So I think that's happening because of this. Let's do that, yes. So let's move horizontal to the update function. And then this one as well, 446, new tile.parent. Okay, so 1 divided by chunk size is 16, I think. Or I think our chunk size is actually 20. Is 0.05, mathf.round. So rounding that will probably round it to 0. And then times that by chunk size is 0. Round to int is 0. Okay, so that's correct as well. Let's say our block is at position, I don't know. Okay, let's say it's the highest block possible, so 100. Divided by 20 is 5. Times chunk size, which is 20, is 100. So it's going to be in chunk 100, which obviously doesn't exist. Okay, so it should actually be... All right, let me try this. World size -1. Okay, guys, so I've sit here generating the world like a lot of times, and I haven't come across the error yet, so I am going to assume it is fixed. For anyone following the tutorial, let me know if you do come across that error. Again, send it to me. Join the Discord. I'll be able to help you there. But send it to me there, and I'll have a look, and then I might address it in the next episode. But I haven't come across it again, so I am going to assume that I'm a genius. Apart from that, one thing I do want to do, I don't know if you've noticed, but with the obviously this is air here, but it gets just as dark as the ground, which doesn't make sense. So in our terrain generation, in our here we go, where is it? In our lighting script, scroll all the way down, all the way down, all the way down here, light block. We're saying mathf.power 0.7. What I actually want to do is say light threshold equals 0.7. So let's go to Unity, and I'm going to set our light threshold. In fact, let's do this. Let's go to the top of our script. I'm going to call this ground light threshold equals 0.7. And then I'll have a public float air light threshold equals something probably like 0.8. 0.85 maybe. Let's do 0.8. 0.85. Let's do 0.85. And we'll just do that, okay? That should be together. Scroll all the way down again. Light block, yes, yes, yes. Here, what I actually want to say is equals air light threshold. In fact, I'll just do this. If there's a tile there and it's not in background, then equals ground light threshold, because it's going to equal air light threshold from here anyway. And what that's going to mean is that air travels further in areas there's no blocks in the foreground, and then it travels less across the ground. And it's just going to mean our caves sort of look brighter. I don't know how to explain, but you'll see it just looks better. It looks better. Trust me, it looks better. It's just a tiny little bit of additional math for it to calculate, to make it harder. I got the error. What are the chances? Object reference not set to anything. It's still saying that. And then this is probably still saying that. Yes. And then this is still saying that. Interesting. Wait. Okay, so this Control X should be inside public void start. Actually, it should be private. Private void start. That's where it should initialize these, and then it should spawn there, rather than initializing it when we spawn, because what's happening is sometimes, for some odd reason, sometimes he's spawning like a frame or so too late, and that means he's trying to calculate stuff, but he hasn't set those values yet. So that's why those are showing up. So that should actually fix all our problems. It's that simple, guys. This is still giving me an issue here. Because... Bro, this is actually stupid. This is stupid. How... Okay guys, so I've worked it out finally. This is the final code for our light block function. We can get rid of that. So what it's doing is it's setting the thresh to just a value at first, so we can actually use it. And then we're checking if it's within range, in which case if it is, then all we have to do is literally say if there's a foreground tile at that position, then set it to ground threshold. Otherwise, that means it's in the air, so set it to a air threshold. And then we're using the air threshold down here in our mathf.power function. Apart from that, yeah, so that's the only code I've changed. And then I've also messed around with the values a little bit. I've set the ground light threshold to 0.6, and I'm going to set this to 0.85 and maybe 0.8. And then I'll leave light radius at 7 just to save a little bit on performance. And what that does, quickly show you guys here. So as you can see, our ground, you can see that I fell super deep down then. You see that the air or the light travels much further inside the cave than through the blocks. So it gets darker much quicker through blocks, which is perfect. And then I can also increase the light radius to maybe 0.7, which will sort of like make it a little bit better. But it won't make it better in terms of performance. Okay, it loaded. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave light radius at 7. I'll leave air threshold to 0.8, and that, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally done. We have fixed all the current bugs we have in our project. Only took us about 2 hours exactly. I thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna split this up into many episodes and cut out all the bits where I rip my hair out. But yeah, look, that's it. Next episode, I don't know what we'll do. Let me know what you guys want to see. But our sandbox game is almost finished, really. If you guys have made it this far, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. So if you want to see more content like this, let me know. It really does help out the channel a lot. We're almost at 100 subscribers, or we might have just passed it depending on when this video comes out. But yeah, so next episode we'll probably get started on some terrain. Not some terrain, we've done enough of that. Some inventory. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.